Good morning. This is the Inside BS Show. I'm Nicola Gelormino, and I've got with me this morning Dave Lorenzo, the Godfather of Growth.
Hey, Nicole.
Dave,
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. So I was reading the news, and I saw that Martha Stewart slammed working from home, at least the hybrid model. She worked throughout the pandemic with her employees in person, bringing I believe it was a concierge doctor to the location where they were working to test them twice a week for COVID, and made statements including that she expected her employees to be accessible all days of the week. And at one point, when she reached out to one on a Sunday and they didn't respond, she realized, well, he did respond. Rather, what he said was, I'm busy, I believe, taking a bath. I can't have this conversation with you right now. And from that moment forward, she realized it's someone I just can't work with. So my question for you, Dave, because I know you've worked from home throughout the pandemic forward, is what do you think about that? Do you think that employees are less productive when they're working from home than they would be if we made them work in the office 5 days a week?
Yeah, so this is a huge issue with my clients right now. My clients are absolutely struggling with this. Professional services firms and, straight up businesses, distributors, manufacturers, everybody's struggling with this because there are some roles that lend themselves really well to work from home. Like in a professional firm, for example, the partners or the principals in an accounting firm or the partners in a law firm, they can probably be more productive working from home because they don't have a commute and they bill by the hour, right? However, the admin staff almost always has to go to the office. So this double standard is creating a lot of animosity in the workplace. Now, when it comes to Martha Stewart, let me just say that I'm a huge fan of Martha Stewart. I mean, let me tell you, first of all, 81 years old, the cover of Sports Illustrated, and she is an unbelievable icon of media. But her comments on this issue are way off base. Like the comment that you left out that was particularly, it wasn't offensive to me, but it was particularly off the point. It was off topic. It didn't make her point. Was she was saying something about, do we want to become France and give everybody August off? And she just, it was like absolutely bashing France. So my thoughts on this are, if you're a good leader and you focus on outcomes and you hire the right people will get to the outcomes regardless of where they're working from, as long as your business does not require people to be together in a specific place. Firefighters must be together in the same place to go to work. Basketball players must be together in the same place to go to work. But lawyers and their admin teams don't need to be in the same place to go to work. I've been working remotely since 2003. And when I was managing partner at the Gallup organization, I had 300 people all over the world working with me on my team everywhere. And sometimes the first time we met each other in person was on site at the clients. And the clients couldn't believe it because the work product we delivered was fantastic. So, in terms of Martha Stewart, her image is pristine. I love everything she does because it seems like everything she touches turns to gold. But it's not the current way to be the most attractive employer. It's not the way to be an employer of preference. And it's not the way this generation of younger workers is going to embrace a company. It just isn't.
I tend to agree with you, Dave. Let me begin by saying I, too, think Martha Stewart is an icon. But I do differ from a perspective on working from home and whether we can take a stance and say what's good for one organization, should be good for all organizations or not. And so I think that there has to be some consideration for where we are today and your workforce. And it's a point you touched on, which is especially with the younger generations who are coming into the workforce, they have grown up online. They have grown up remotely. They have learned to adjust and were forced to attend school remotely and made all of that work. And so now to enter the workforce and be told that that no longer works is a difficult ask, right? But then there's the other side of the discussion and perspective, which is coming from folks who have always worked in offices. And so for them, that's what they always knew. And they have, some will have expectations that you need to be in an office. And so what it comes down to for me is the leadership and looking at your organization and making determination what works best for our organization, but remaining flexible, because you will need to incorporate some level work from home where folks will be productive, but you have to be the leader to make sure that you are encouraging them to do their best in the environment they're in and try to take away the tension that exists over this issue.
You know, I look at you and your firm, and you could be 2 days a week, 3 days a week, even some weeks 4 days a week working from your home office, and you have a great home office, which you're really comfortable working in. But if you're getting ready for trial and you have a team of people that you're working with, you guys all need to be together in a war room getting ready for trial. So there is no hard and fast answer to any of this. It's that you have to be able to adapt and adjust. Here's the thing. If you want a competitive advantage, the more flexibility you can give to the people who will work with you, the more advantage you will have to be able to attract the best talent out there. People these days, because of the pandemic, as you so aptly pointed out, because of the pandemic, people know they can work remotely for just about any role, at least part of the time. Nobody wants to sit in traffic for a half hour, 45 minutes, an hour, or if you're in Miami or LA, 90 minutes each way. Nobody wants to sit in that kind of traffic. So if you want to attract top talent, you have to have some sort of flexibility in your business model, unless your business model requires you to be in a specific location at a specific time. It's just, you're going to put yourself at a competitive disadvantage. And Nicola, here's the thing that I hear people saying all the time, and I'd like your thoughts on this. People are saying, listen, Dave, this is fine while there's, 3.5% unemployment, but when unemployment goes up to 8 or 9%, I'm going to be able to tell people that they can come in the office. My opinion, you're going to be able to tell people they can come in the office, but they're going to be freaking miserable. So wouldn't you rather have happy employees taking care of your clients rather than miserable employees? What do you think?
Oh, I agree. That is not a good leadership approach to say that I will just force everybody to come in when the labor market shifts. It will not create a good work environment. You will have unhappy employees. You will have employees who may even have a foot out the door at any moment, but they're not going to support your organization and its values. And so it is a much better approach from a leadership standpoint to get people on board with the organization, want to be there. They will be more productive. They will be creating a better environment with you and supporting your organization long term. And so I think that's really a short-sighted way of looking at it.
So Nicola, what should people do now?
People should subscribe to our show. Wherever you get your podcasts, you can find us. We're the Inside VS Show. Make sure you tune in.
Let's just leave this as outtakes. People, subscribe. Leave us a review. Until tomorrow, I'm Dave Lorenzo, and she's
Nicki G.
We'll see you tomorrow.